Did you really think we were done talking about Hazbin Hotel? Not quite yet, and this is just season 1, baby. We've talked about morality, criminality, theories, queries. Oh, here we go. Shipping, every fandom's greatest aspect, or worst nightmare, depending on where you stand. Hazbin's communities come up with no shortage of popular ships with its pivotal characters, so you know what that means. We've got a question to answer. Which romances and would-be romances are downright heavenly, and which ones are toxic as hell? I'm Kifinosi with Wicked Binge, and today we're talking about Hazbin Hotel's ships and whether they sink, swim, or sail. If you need a reminder of the rules, here's how it works. Sink means that we don't ship it. Sail means that we do, and swim is somewhere in between, but we aren't denying the potential. For the best of the best and the worst of the worst, we also have the 5-star cruise and shipwrecked categories, respectively. But let's start with the steadiest ship in the show so far, Charlie x Vaggie. Their relationship took center stage for a lot of season 1, and we got to see basically everything we needed to say that we ship it. The relationship started when Vaggie was left in hell as punishment for sparing a sinner demon child during one of the exterminations. Her act of kindness was rewarded as quickly as it was punished when Charlie came to her aid. From then on, these two became crucial sources of comfort and support for each other. Vaggie acts as support for Charlie's hotel and her endless optimism, and Charlie acts as an emotional support who keeps Vaggie from falling too far into the negative.
God, I'm such a bad liar.
Vaggie, you're my partner.
It's as close to a match made in heaven as you could get in hell. We'd be crazy not to ship it, really. Even the bombshell of Vaggie being a former extermination angel can't stop this one from being too adorable to ship. While we're on the most popular ships, let's talk about one that may or may not become canon, Husk x Angel Dust. This ship is one of, if not the most popular ship in the fandom so far, and it's not hard at all to see why. Their chemistry from the Loser Baby musical number and onwards is worthy of being called one of the series' most endearing relationships so far. Like many characters in the show, both of their character journeys are pretty damn blatant. Husk straight up says he's lost the ability to love in the pilot, and Angel he's just, we love him, but the guy's a mess in general. And this premise of two complete messes coming together not to make each other less messy, but to help each other deal with life despite their messes, makes this ship infinitely appealing to many fans. Frankly, we'd gladly call it a 5-star cruise, but we're gonna go more middle of the road and ship it. This isn't because we have any complaints about the potential of this ship, but rather it's just that this ship would work every bit as well as a platonic friendship. Granted, Angel does have Cherry to fill the friend category, so we can see why this one's thrown right into romantic territory by the fans, and the two becoming an item would effectively fix Husk's inability to love, given that by his own admission, Angel is the only person he's found that can relate to his situation.
Well, we could improv this shit, baby cakes. Rawr.
However you slice it, the equal potential here for romance and bromance makes this a top tier for both categories. Staying on the topic of top tiers, next we have Zestial x Carmilla. And look, we're not gonna waste your time here. 5-star cruise. You cannot show us a soulful musical number by a struggling single mother turned potential war criminal prompted by a gentlemanly overlord who just wanted to know how his old friend was doing and not expect us to ship it. There's mutual respect between these two, from Carmilla's daughters clearly trusting Zestial to Zestial not betraying his friend's confidence, and they have perhaps the most sincerely healthy relationship in the whole series. And if romance means we see more of these two, that's just another perk in its favor. But enough of all these sweet ships for now. It's time for something a bit more controversial. Enter Vox x Valentino. Do bad guys deserve love? Well, we're not here to answer that question today, but we'll acknowledge that, deserved or not, they often find it. Case in point, Vox and Valentino, who seem to have a sort of on-again, off-again fling going on. This one's questionable for a few reasons. The first is, obviously, there's not really much of a desire to see either of these two happy. Don't get me wrong, we love Vox as a character, and we love Vox as a character, but they're both among the most pure evil villains introduced so far. And second, we doubt this relationship is much more than what we described it as earlier, an on-again, off-again fling between villains.
What did you just say?
Still, they have fun chemistry, which is at least worth something. So this ship can swim. We could go with or without it, but it leads to some fun interactions between the two. And while we're talking about the V's, let's bring Velvet into the mix. What about Vox x Velvet? Someone's thought of it, surely. With Vox's hold on the media and Velvet's status as a top-tier influencer and fashion designer, these two would make one, literal hell of a power couple. That said, we have to ask, just what about them really screams romance? If anything, Velvet seems to find Vox and Val's romance endearing, so unless they got a polyamorous thing going on, we'll have to sink this one. And even if it were a poly thing, come on, can we really trust any of these three in a relationship setting? Oh no. Now it's time to bring everyone's favorite psychotic radio host into the discussion with the ship of Charlie x Alastor. It's practically inevitable that when a show has a character who's sweet as cotton candy and another as endearingly malicious as a melted SpongeBob popsicle, there are gonna be some people shipping them. And to be fair, Charlie and Alastor have a great dynamic. Charlie's open-mindedness and Alastor's mysterious nature make every interaction between them as hilarious as it is weirdly wholesome. That said, we've got to sync this one. Look, we want these two to be on good terms at the end of the series as much as the next guy, but per Alastor's own words, Charlie is like the daughter he wishes he had. While he mainly said that to screw with Lucifer, it implies that there's enough of an age gap between them for Alastor to at least potentially see her as a sort of daughter figure. There are some cute moments between the two, but they never go beyond a pseudo-familial bond, so while we hope to see more of their interactions, we don't want them to become a romantic item. Speaking of opposites attract ships, next we have Lucifer x Adam. If there's one shipping dynamic even more inevitable than good guy x bad guy, it's got to be two people who absolutely freaking hate each other. Enter Lucifer and Adam, two guys who met through their relationships with the same girl and the eventual fall of mankind that resulted. While we see the appeal of this ship from a fan art perspective, there's just no way these two would work out on any level.
Don't forget, you're in my house!
Especially since Adam is, double dead, and also hurt Lucifer's daughter. This one's a shipwreck, but for you opposites attract fans out there, it's hard to get more on the nose than this one. Staying on the topic of hate shipping, why not talk about one of Lucifer's other foes next? It's Lucifer x Alastor. This one at least seems somewhat more plausible than the previous, playing devil's advocate here, pun intended. Lucifer and Alastor are both invested in Charlie and her hotel.
Who is this? Who is this man? Are you the bellhop?
Though for very different reasons, it seems. It's also possible that Alastor genuinely cares about Charlie to an extent, and he does play a big role in protecting her. So while it's unlikely that these two are going to have any kind of hallmark love story, it's entirely possible that they could become allies through mutual care for our favorite hell-dwelling princess. We're surprisingly going to give this one a swim. We're not shipping them, but these two could definitely use more screen time together. Whether they become buddies, enemies, or lovers remains to be seen, and it's almost definitely going to be enemies, but you know what? Just color us curious about it. Consider it an ongoing investment in entertainment for ourselves. And okay, alright. We can't avoid talking about Alastor x Vox. This is so far the king of hate shipping in the Hazbin community, and it's easy enough to see why. Stayed Gone is one of the best moments in the show so far, and it's just these two talking and singing about how much they hate each other and their forms of entertainment. There's no doubt that these two have some serious baggage between them, and we're certainly curious to see how Vox went about asking Alastor to join the V's. That said, sometimes good old-fashioned bitter business rivalry is better than any romance that could spawn from it, so we have to sync this one. That said, love song or not, we need another duet between these two. Oh, you didn't think we were done with the hate ships yet, did you? Next up is Killjoy x Tom Trench.
Good evening. I'm Katie Killjoy. And I'm... Nobody gives a shit who you are, Tom.
Man, you know what? We really thought that going into this, we'd say these two are a total shipwreck, given how awful Katie is to Tom and how one of Tom's only character traits so far is that he likes objectifying women. But then we thought about it, and these two totally deserve each other. The mutual bullying and top-tier slapstick to go on between them would actually be some pretty good stuff. A classic love-hate, but mostly hate relationship. It'd be like something straight out of a Boomer comic. We ship this one. Yeah, we're surprised too, honestly. Now it's time to get back to some more wholesome ships. So next we have Cherry x Angel Dust. As his quintessential ride-or-die best friend, Cherry keeps Angel from falling too deep into despair. Whether that means getting him out of the house, or hotel, or comforting him after a rough day of working for Val, Cherry is a friend that Angel can always rely on, and this has led to some shipping the two as a romantic item. But while this feels harsh, we have to sync this ship. It's nothing personal really, but these two work so darn perfectly as friends. Also, apparently Angel is canonically gay, so even if we wanted this one to happen, it'd just be totally impossible. So Husk or Dusk is the best bet. Don't worry though, because Cherry's got another apple in her eye. Cherry x Pentious is up next, and this ship is as adorable as it is hilarious. Their explosive rivalry turned into lighthearted flirting bouts by Cherry's reintroduction in episode 6.
Well, if it isn't my arch nemesis.
This ultimately resulted in Sir Pentious' final moment before his sacrifice being a kiss with his crush.
That was kind of hot.
If that weren't cute enough, notice how there are kiss marks on his little head flaps in his heaven design. These two deserve a 5-star cruise in heaven, which will hopefully happen when Cherry surely finds redemption of her own to reunite with her frenemy turned lover. With that, we're only missing one of the hotel's residents. Nifty x Husk introduces our favorite housekeeper into the fray. Understandably, Nifty doesn't really get a lot of shipping action. She's a character who's meant to be more cute, silly, and childlike than the others, so this is natural. And really, she doesn't have a lot of viable love interests. The closest we could find is Nifty x Husk, which, yeah, considering Nifty seems to see Husk as somewhere between a pet and a big brother figure, we're gonna say sync for this one. Sorry, Nifty. Here's hoping you find the bad boy of your dreams one day.
I'm ready to punish some bad boys.
Speaking of bad boys, let's take one last trip to heaven to talk about Lut x Adam. Really, it's never made entirely clear what the nature of these two's relationship was. We do know that they were loyal to each other though. Adam's death crushed Lut enough for her to shed a tear, and Adam's smile as he passed was one of his only compassionate moments in the series. Given how little we know about their feelings for each other, we're going to say this ship can swim for now. Hopefully, Lut's future arcs will reveal more about how their connection was behind the scenes, but for now, there's neither much information nor a lot of likelihood we'll be seeing more of their interactions. And we'd feel wrong if we didn't include Charlie's parents, Lilith x Lucifer. This is a rough one, given how shrouded in mystery Lilith is, and how complex and also mysterious Lucifer is. Why exactly these two star-crossed lovers separated is anyone's guess. A pretty safe bet is conflict of interest, however. While Lucifer grew depressed in hell, Lilith saw the opportunity to really make something out of it. This surely had to be at least part of why they parted ways, and why Lilith felt the need to distance Charlie from him. But what if that's not their whole story? What if Lilith's work in civilizing hell was done to help cheer Lucifer up? Heck, maybe the reason she's in heaven is that she's trying to, behind the scenes, create a world where her family still has hope. That's probably being way too optimistic, but with how much this show's lore we don't know yet, it's possible. And no, what the heck, we're suckers for happy ending, so sail on, you two, and maybe don't ghost your kid for 7 years while you're sailing this time. Just my thoughts on the matter.